You've probably heard it a dozen times, cheese gets a bad reputation. We're told it's too fatty, too salty, a guilty pleasure at best. But what if I told you that was a mistake? What if certain cheeses, chosen wisely, could actually help you rebuild your muscles after 60? That's right, one of the most powerful tools for fighting age-related muscle loss might just be waiting in your refrigerator. In this video, I'm going to share 3 specific cheeses loaded with proteins and nutrients your muscles need essential for strength and sarcopenia prevention. These aren't just for snacking, they are powerful, natural tools to stop muscle loss and rebuild your body. First, let's talk about the silent opponent we're all facing. It's a biological process called sarcopenia, which is just the clinical term for age-related muscle loss. Think of your muscles like the foundation of a house. For years, they've been strong and stable, but over time, tiny, unseen cracks can begin to form, slowly weakening the entire structure. That's sarcopenia. It's the reason stairs can start to feel like mountains. A simple jar becomes a workout to open and our balance feels just a little less certain. This process can speed up significantly after age 60. But here's the most important thing I want you to hear today. Sarcopenia is not a life sentence. It's a condition, and you are not powerless against it. While staying active is crucial, your efforts need the right partner. That partner is fuel. Your muscles are hungry for high-quality protein, the essential building block for repair and growth. I know what you might be thinking. Cheese? To build muscle? It's true some cheeses are best in moderation, but to label all cheese as unhealthy is a huge mistake. When chosen carefully, cheese is a nutritional powerhouse perfectly suited to combat muscle loss. In fact, studies show that when older adults add nutrient-rich cheese to their diet, they can see significant improvements in both muscle mass and strength. So what makes these cheeses so special? First, it's high-quality protein. It's complete, which means it contains all the essential amino acids. Imagine you're building something. You need a complete toolkit, a hammer, a saw, a screwdriver. This protein is that complete toolkit for your muscles. One of these tools, an amino acid called leucine, is especially important. In fact, researchers from the National Institutes of Health point out that older adults need more leucine per meal than younger people to trigger muscle building. Beyond protein, these cheeses are packed with calcium. You might think, isn't calcium for bones? Yes, but it's also the spark plug for your muscles. Every single time a muscle in your body tightens and moves, it needs calcium to fire. Without enough, your muscles simply cannot function at their best. Let me start with a humble classic, cottage cheese. It might remind you of old-fashioned diet plans, but it's actually one of the most powerful muscle-building foods you can find. Here's why. A single half cup of low-fat cottage cheese gives you about 14 grams of high-quality protein for fewer than 100 calories. But it's the type of protein that's the real secret. Most of the protein in cottage cheese is called casein. Imagine it as a slow drip IV of nutrients for your muscles. Casein is a slow-release protein, providing a steady stream of amino acids over 6 to 8 hours. It's like having a dedicated night watchman, guarding your muscles against breakdown while you sleep. One study from the British Journal of Nutrition even showed that consuming casein protein before sleep significantly improved muscle recovery in older adults. So, think of cottage cheese as your overnight bodyguard against muscle loss. What I love about cottage cheese for my senior colleagues is its simplicity. Many tell me they have trouble chewing tough meats or that their appetite isn't what it used to be. Cottage cheese is soft, creamy, and gentle on the system. For a perfect senior's bedtime snack, try a small bowl with a few berries. Or, for a savory twist, mix in some fresh herbs like dill or chives. Quick reminder, if you're over 60, staying strong is the key to healthy aging. Subscribe now for weekly sarcopenia prevention tips to keep your muscles active and independent. And wait until you hear about one Italian cheese that scientists actually call a muscle-protecting powerhouse. We'll get to that soon. Our second powerhouse is ricotta, and this one acts like the first responder for your muscles. Ricotta is made primarily from whey protein, which gives it an incredible advantage. Unlike the slow and steady casein, whey is the fastest absorbing protein you can eat. Your body can get it to your muscles within 30 to 60 minutes. Think about it. After a brisk walk, a session in the garden, or even carrying in the groceries, your muscles have worked and are ready for repairs. That's when you need a fast-acting crew. When you eat ricotta, those whey proteins rush to your muscles right when they need them most. One study found that older adults who added about 3/4 of a cup of ricotta to their daily diet saw measurable improvements in muscle mass and balance. Ricotta is also a great source of branched-chain amino acids, or BCAAs, which are like the elite special forces for triggering muscle growth. and practically speaking it's soft, creamy, and naturally lower in sodium than many other cheeses. The best time to eat it is within an hour or so after any activity. Spread it on whole grain toast with sliced tomatoes, or stir it into scrambled eggs to make them extra creamy and protein-packed. Now for our third champion, and it might be the most surprising, authentic Parmesan cheese or Parmigiano Reggiano. You may think of it as just a topping for pasta, but this aged cheese is one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. Here's the remarkable part. A single ounce of Parmesan, about the size of your thumb, delivers over 10 grams of complete protein. Gram for gram, that's more protein than steak. For older adults who may be eating smaller portions, that concentration is incredibly valuable. But here's where the magic of aging comes in. During its long aging process, natural enzymes break down the proteins into smaller, more digestible pieces. It's as if a chef has already done all the prep work for you, making it incredibly gentle on your stomach. In fact, after aging, Parmesan contains virtually no lactose, so even people with lactose intolerance can usually enjoy it without issue. And let's not forget the calcium. That 1 ounce serving also provides nearly a third of the calcium you need in a day. So with Parmesan, you get the building blocks for muscle and the spark plugs to make them work. The beauty is its versatility. Grate it over eggs, sprinkle it on a salad, or toss it with roasted vegetables. It's a simple, flavorful way to supercharge almost any meal. So we have our three champions: cottage cheese as the overnight guardian, ricotta as the fast-acting repair crew, and Parmesan as the everyday enhancer. Here's a simple meal plan for sarcopenia prevention. Aim for 2 to 3 servings of these cheeses a day. This could look like half a cup of cottage cheese with fruit in the morning, an ounce of Parmesan grated over a lunchtime soup, and a small bowl of ricotta after your afternoon walk. The best part is that this doesn't require a huge effort, just a small serving a few times a day on at least 4 or 5 days a week. Of course, to make this truly effective, you need to pair it with regular movement. And I'm not talking about heavy weights or complicated gym machines. Everyday life provides opportunities for resistance training, gardening, carrying groceries, climbing stairs, and even vigorous housework all send the time to build signal to your muscles that works perfectly with this protein strategy. Losing strength with age isn't inevitable. With smart sarcopenia prevention, you can stay strong, independent, and vibrant. Starting today with something as simple and enjoyable as cheese. By strategically using cottage cheese, ricotta, and Parmesan, you are giving your body the specific high-quality building blocks it needs to protect and rebuild your muscle tissue. You're taking a delicious, science-backed step toward maintaining your strength, your balance, and most importantly, your independence for years to come. Stay strong after 60. Enjoy cheese for protein and protect your muscles. It's never too late to start. If you found this video helpful, please do me a favor and hit that like button. And be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell for more science-backed senior health tips to help you thrive after 60. Sharing this video with a friend or family member who might need to hear this message could make a real difference in their life. Now I have a question for you. Which of these 3 cheeses are you most excited to add to your routine first? Let me know in the comments below. Cheese may be the star, but it needs a strong supporting cast to prevent sarcopenia. Don't miss these 7 leucine-rich foods that give your muscles the boost they need.